Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, and, we're tackling Peter Thiel's 0 to 1.
Oh, 0 to 1, a classic.
It is, and we've got this great YouTube video breaking down, like, all the key ideas, so we're gonna try to figure out, what makes Thiel right, what makes his approach to, building a successful business so unique.
Well, Thiel really challenges how we think about pretty much everything, like innovation, competition. It's not about taking baby steps for him.
Yeah.
It's about, making a real impact.
He's not messing around. No, he's not about just like copying everyone else.
No.
Yeah. So let's jump right into this whole 0 to 1 thing. He talks about two types of innovation, right?
He does, yeah. Horizontal and vertical innovation.
Mhm.
So horizontal innovation is what he calls going from one to n. So you're taking like an existing idea and you're just making it better.
Okay, I'm with you.
Like, a faster car or a thinner phone. But vertical innovation is all about creating something totally new, going from 0 to 1. This is the kind of innovation that really shakes things up.
So, like, are we talking about, I don't know, like improving the combustion engine versus actually inventing it in the first place? Is that what he's getting at?
Exactly. That's a perfect example. One just builds on what's already there.
Right.
While the other, it creates this whole new playing field, right? Like the combustion engine led to cars, airplane. I mean, so much stuff. And like, sure, improving those things, it's important, but it doesn't have that same revolutionary impacts.
And I feel like, we see examples of this all the time, both types of innovation, but we don't always like stop and think about it in those terms.
Mm.
It really makes you wonder, like, what are some like really recent 0 to 1 type innovations that have really like changed things?
It's a good question. And for Thiel, like real success hinges on these 0 to 1 breakthroughs.
Okay.
And it's this idea that kind of leads him to this really, well, some might say controversial idea. He says competition is actually bad.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute. Isn't competition supposed to be like, the whole point, like how we make progress?
That's what we're always told, right?
Yeah.
But Thiel, he sees it differently.
Hmm.
He's saying that when you're like stuck in this crazy competition, you end up focusing so much on your rivals
Right.
that you don't build something truly unique and valuable.
Okay.
So instead of competing, he wants companies to aim for, well, kind of a monopoly.
Now hold on. A monopoly. Isn't that like the opposite of what we want in a free market?
It sounds bad, I know, but what Thiel's talking about is not like those classic, evil monopolies we read about. It's about creating something so innovative that it basically becomes a category of one.
Okay.
There's no direct competition because you've created this space that's totally your own.
So not about like, crushing your competition through like, bad tactics. But like by making something so good that there is no competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay.
Okay, I see where he's going.
He uses Google as the perfect example, right?
Oh, okay. Because they dominated search and they weren't constantly fighting feature for feature with someone else, they were able to invest in long-term innovation and like expand into things like Android, YouTube, all that.
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying. So 0 to 1 leads to like less competition and more freedom to just build something great. But how do you even find those, game-changing ideas? Thiel keeps talking about secrets, right? Like what are those? What's the secret sauce?
So for Thiel, these secrets are like fundamental truths, things that are hidden in plain sight.
Oh, okay.
And they're just waiting to be discovered. They're like the foundation of really valuable businesses because they challenge all those old assumptions and unlock new markets.
Okay, so can you give me an example of a secret that led to, successful company?
Think about PayPal, right?
Yeah.
Back when they started, the whole idea of online payments, people were really skeptical.
Oh, right. Yeah. It was like, is this safe?
Yeah, like, is this risky? Is it reliable? But the founders, they saw a secret that everyone else was missing. Digital payments, they could be secure and super convenient.
So it's not just like, coming up with an idea. It's about uncovering a truth, something people haven't figured out yet.
It's about seeing the potential, like where others are seeing problems, basically.
Okay.
And that totally ties into Thiel's whole focus on the long game.
Right. He's not about, getting rich quick.
No, he's not into those quick schemes.
Yeah.
He wants companies that are built to last, not just to be sold off for a profit.
He's talking about like a legacy.
Exactly.
Not just, making a quick buck.
Yeah, and he uses Amazon as an example
Oh, okay.
because they were okay with, losing money for years because they had a clear vision and they were patient. They just kept focusing on growth and the customer experience.
And look at them now.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got some of the basic principles of 0 to 1 down, but like, how do we actually put this into practice?
Right, cool.
Thiel gives us 7 key questions that, every founder should think about.
Yeah, he does.
I bet these apply even if you're not, in the tech world.
Oh, absolutely. They're like a roadmap
Right, yeah.
to navigate all those challenges of building a business.
Okay, so walk us through them.
All right, the first one is why now?
Seems pretty straightforward. Timing is everything, right?
It is, but it's a bit deeper than that.
Okay.
Thiel wants you to think about, is there a real reason why this needs to exist in the world right now? Has something changed, like the technology, what customers need, the market, that makes your idea both necessary and well-timed?
Oh, like, I don't know, like Airbnb that came around right when everyone was like over hotels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole rise of like online platforms, smartphones, it made their idea possible at that moment.
They were in the right place at the right time.
Right place, right time. Okay, question 2. Does it solve a real problem? Now, that seems pretty obvious, but I'm sure Thiel has like a specific way of looking at this.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
For him, it's not enough to just create something that's slightly better than what's out there.
Okay.
It needs to address like a real pain point, a need that people are actually feeling like right now.
So it's gotta matter.
It's got to matter. And he uses Tesla as an example, right?
Okay.
They didn't just make like a slightly better electric car. They went for this much bigger problem of like sustainable transportation.
Right.
And because of that, they're like leading the way in the EV market.
So it's about solving the right problem, basically.
Think about the things you're passionate about.
Okay.
Are they actual problems that like have a big impact, or are they just little annoyances?
That's a good point. All right, let's move on. Question 3, competitive advantage.
All right, so here, Thiel wants you to ask yourself, what makes this truly unique? What makes it hard to copy?
Okay.
Remember, competition, it's a distraction for him, right? The goal is to make something so good that you become the go-to, like you create your own category.
So something like, I don't know, Google's algorithm, like that's their thing, right? No one else has figured it out quite like that.
Yeah, and because of that, they've been able to branch out into like so many other areas.
Okay, I get it. So for our listeners out there, like, what's your edge? What do you bring to the table that nobody else does?
It's the million-dollar question for sure.
It is. Okay, question 4, market size and growth.
All right, this one's a bit more straightforward. You need a market that can actually support your business, right?
Seems pretty basic.
It is. But Thiel takes it a step further.
Okay.
He says it's super important to pick a market that has like a lot of potential for growth.
Right.
You don't want to be in some tiny little niche that's not going anywhere.
Right.
Like think about Facebook. They started with college students, right?
Right.
But then they scaled up to become this global platform.
So it's not just about size, it's about like where things are headed.
Exactly. It's about potential.
Okay, got it.
Okay, question 5. Team with shared vision. Now, I have a feeling this one's super important to Thiel.
Yeah, I mean, a company's only as good as the people building it, right?
Exactly. He believes a strong team is essential. People who share your long-term vision, who have skills that, like, fit together, and who are in it for the right reasons.
So like a dream team.
Yeah, like the PayPal Mafia, as they're called.
Right.
They're all super talented, but they all came from different places.
Yeah.
But they were united by this goal to change online payments.
So that shared vision is what brings people together.
Totally. Okay, question 6, scalable business model.
So I'm guessing this means building a business that can, grow without becoming like super complicated or expensive.
Yeah. Thiel's saying, think about creating something that can handle like massive growth without needing like a ton more resources. Like Amazon, their platform, let them grow into all these different categories and even industries like cloud computing, all without like crazy overhead costs.
So it's about like building a better engine, basically.
Okay, last one, question 7. Customer acquisition beyond ads.
Okay, what's that all about?
He thinks relying only on advertising, it can be a killer, especially for startups.
Right.
He wants people to be more creative, to think about attracting customers naturally, word of mouth, viral stuff.
Don't just shout your message. Give people a reason to come to you.
Exactly. Like, think about Dropbox, right?
Okay.
Their referral program was so smart. They got people to invite their friends.
Right.
And that's how they grew super fast without spending a ton on ads.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And there you have it, Thiel's 7 questions.
7 key questions. That was a lot, but I think, no matter what stage of business you're in, those questions are helpful.
Definitely. They really get you thinking.
They do. So as we kind of wrap up this first part of our 0 to 1 deep dive, what are some of the big things our listeners should be thinking about?
Well, I think one of the most important things is the importance of being unique.
Right.
Thiel really stresses the need to create something new, not just a slightly better version of what's already out there.
He wants us to swing for the fences, not just bunt.
Exactly. And another big takeaway is like the importance of the team, Surround yourself with people who are as passionate as you are, who are in it for the long haul.
Like the PayPal mafia, right?
Exactly. They had that shared vision, and it led to some amazing things.
Right. And I think, what I find really inspiring about Thiel's philosophy is that he encourages us to think differently.
Yes.
Like challenge those assumptions. Don't be afraid to go against the grain.
He wants us to be bold, to question everything, and to go after those ambitious ideas, even if they sound crazy at first.
Like Netflix basically blew up the whole video rental industry because they were willing to imagine a future where people streamed movies.
And they didn't let anyone tell them it couldn't be done.
They were like, watch us.
Yeah. And that's such a powerful lesson.
It is. It is.
It's kind of amazing how Thiel really pushes us to be like creators, not just, making things a little bit better.
It's true. It makes you think how much of what we see is just like, slightly better versions of the same old stuff.
Right.
How often do we see something that really like changes the game?
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in those little improvements, forget about the 0 to 1 stuff.
Right, right. And that's where I guess the whole secrets thing comes in, right?
Yeah.
Finding those hidden truths that like unlock a whole new level.
Yeah, but how do you even find those secrets? I mean, they're hidden, right?
Right.
That's the tricky part. But what's cool is these secrets aren't always some crazy formula or like, a tech thing.
Correct.
They can be like really simple ideas that everyone just kind of missed.
So it's not about being a genius. It's about like seeing what others don't.
Yeah, I think so. Like, do you have any other examples of companies that were built on a secret?
That's a good question. Well, what about SpaceX?
Oh, perfect example.
Like, one of their secrets was that they believed reusable rockets were possible and they were like essential to making space travel cheaper.
And that went against everything everyone else thought.
Totally. And now look at them.
Right.
They changed the whole industry just by, questioning things.
It really shows that, like, the best ideas come from questioning things. The stuff everyone takes for granted.
It takes guts to go against the grain, when everyone's telling you you're wrong.
For sure.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, what other secrets are out there just waiting?
Right. What are we all missing?
That's the exciting part. And these discoveries, they can come from anywhere. It's not just Silicon Valley people.
Okay.
It's about being curious, looking at things differently, and not be afraid to challenge what you think you know.
I love that. Anyone can be an innovator.
Exactly.
Okay, so speaking of like that mindset, Thiel's a big believer in building for the long term.
Oh, yeah.
He's not about like the move fast and break things thing.
No. Enduring businesses,
Yeah.
that's what he wants.
Legacy, not just, a quick win.
Right. He thinks companies should focus on creating real value, even if it means they don't make money right away.
Like Amazon.
Right.
Perfect example.
They lost money for, like, years.
They were patient. They had a plan.
Yeah.
Playing the long game.
And it worked.
Totally.
So it's not about, like, chasing the latest trend.
No.
It's about building something that lasts.
Exactly.
Something with a vision,
A vision for the future.
Yeah. And that takes a strong team, right? Like, to build something that can stand the test of time.
Oh, absolutely. He talks about having a team that's not just talented, but also, like, committed, People who are in it for the long haul.
And with, like, different perspectives.
Diversity is key. Different backgrounds, different experiences.
Right.
That's how you solve problems. That's how you find the best solutions.
It's about having people who can, like, challenge each other, learn from each other. It's exactly. Building a company, it's not just about the product or the marketing.
Okay.
It's about the people, the team.
Yeah, it's about building something that can, like, adapt and survive.
I think that's a really good way to put it. When I think about Thiel's 0 to 1, it's not just about business. It's like a way of thinking.
Right, a philosophy.
It applies to everything, challenging the status quo, learning new things, building relationships.
And trying to be better, right.
Always improving.
Yeah. And that's what makes it so interesting, it's not just about making money.
No, it's about making a difference.
Right. He believes that innovation is how we solve problems.
And create a better future.
Yeah, a future where everyone benefits.
Exactly. It's a message that I think is really important right now.
It is. It is. And it reminds us that, like, we all have the potential to make a difference, to be a part of something positive.
Yeah, to create something new, something good.
That leaves a mark.
That's what it's all about.
And that brings us back to, like, the core of Thiel's message, right?
Yeah. Be bold. Be curious.
Be the creators.
Create the future you want to see.
Challenge the status quo.
Think differently.
Go after those big ideas.
Even if they seem crazy.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in humanity.
Build a brighter future.
A bolder future.
A more fulfilling future.
And remember, the world's waiting for your 0 to 1 moment.
You know what really stuck with me about all this? Like, Thiel really wants us to think for ourselves,
Yeah, it's not just about being different. It's about being, like, critical,
Yeah.
Don't just follow the crowd. Think for yourself.
Don't be a sheep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Question everything,
Yeah.
Challenge those assumptions.
It's like all those things we just accept as true, right?
Yeah. Be skeptical. Dig deeper. Don't be afraid to be the one who says, hold on, what if?
Yeah.
You know?
Like that saying, if everyone's thinking the same, someone's not thinking.
Exactly. And that's how breakthroughs happen, Someone sees things differently.
They connect those dots.
And they have the guts to act on it, even when it's scary.
Right, right. That's what separates the real innovators, right?
The game changers.
So, as we wrap up our 0 to 1 deep dive, what's, like, the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think it's that we can all be 0 to 1 thinkers.
Okay.
We can all create something new, something that matters.
We don't have to be, like, tech geniuses, right?
No, it's about having that curiosity, that courage, to go after your own vision.
And remembering those secrets, like those hidden truths, they're everywhere.
If Thiel thinks the best businesses come from secrets, what's hiding in your world? What potential are you missing?
What a great question. And if you want more Thiel, definitely check out 0 to 1.
Such a good book.
Really makes you think. All right, that's it for our deep dive into Peter Thiel's 0 to 1. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Keep exploring.